journalists, our job is to understand a story immediately. We're parachuted into these places, whether it be any town in the United States or whether it be a town in another country. Our objective is to get the details, the context, and a profile. So in my profession, I need to be able to understand differences in cultures immediately, to be developing intercultural skills in my job. Has anyone heard the concept of fixers? So fixers are sort of our cultural liaisons. And without them, it would be difficult sometimes to ask the questions that we need to. Michael and Daniel, they know what's the appropriate way to couch some of the questions that I'm asking, which could be very sensitive, one of them was, why did you decide to stop becoming a child trafficker? And now, why are you an advocate for saving these children? Cab drivers are great cultural liaisons, right? You can ask them anything. They know everything. But do we ask them the questions that really we want to learn from? I found that it's just, hey, it's time just to take a leap. Just go for it off the deep end. I'm not going to do it right now, but and that is by just going to some place that really shocks and jolts your cultural sensitivities, whatever they may be. I don't know how you might see it. And this year I decided that that jolt would be in Africa, in Ghana. I just came back 1 month ago, and we went there to build homes, affordable homes, and I wanted to share that story that will be airing later this week on CNN International. So here's a little video.
Clement Adu lives here with his father, and the chickens, and the cashews they farm. In this home, 7 families, and just 7 rooms, one for each family. Total size is about 700 square feet, and getting smaller. The dirt walls wash away each rain, only the concrete seams stay. Clement and Abraham are why we came to Ghana. 12 volunteers from Abu Dhabi, Canada, Luxembourg, Switzerland, and the U.S. We were the first global village team from Habitat for Humanity to ever visit this town of 800.
Wayashe means, are you hot? But I learned out why later. Every time I walked through this town of 800, they would all scream, at this 800, they would scream out to me going, Richard, Wayashe? And I was like, why is everybody identifying me with are you hot? Well, I found that it also means this. They didn't tell me that, but they were laughing. This is what it also meant. Are you buzzed?
What was your major in?
My major was rhetoric, so it's, you know, they say it's a BA and BS. We learned how to argue and use philosophy, use sophistry, whatever was required to make your point. But what I think I learned from that is there's always at least, you know, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 sides to the argument.
How did you acquire all these skills without going to journalism school? I
was following you, Marty.
I thought you had to. I'm that old.
I was following you, Marty. You know, I think that based on my business background, I was in business for 15 years. It developed a similar set of skills, and I did it a lot in business. And so when I moved over to journalism, it was just a natural sort of progression or an easy translation of those skills. Critical thinking and looking at many sides, that's the rhetoric. That's the pre-law. And so, yeah, there are a lot of sort of things that overlap.
I like that. Richard, take a few questions here. Anybody have something?
Do you think an argument is worthwhile if both, like, you and the other person are going back and forth, but you guys come at a standstill and neither of you has been able to take each other's side?
What's your name?
Josh.
Josh, what do you think?
Wasn't expecting that. It's a sign that, you know, people can coexist with other people's opinions.
I agree with you, because Josh, where I was going to go is as a rhetorician, as a rhetor, as some people say. You keep on arguing, and you may not necessarily ever reach an agreement on either side, but theoretically you've got better truth.
I've been trying to explain to non-majors the heart of a journalist. And you seem to have that heart. What drives your passion for doing these things? You do a lot of volunteer work, then that comes out in your stories.
Yeah.
Where's that come from?
Well, you can tell the 2 stories I decided to play here were really based in that sort of awareness of the community. And those are the stories that really keep me very ingrained in what we do. We have a huge responsibility based on the megaphone that's been given to us.
Are we going to lose these kinds of stories with all the financial crises, or are we still going to be able to have people like you, Richard, go out and tell these wonderful stories?
And I think it's what we have to do is just be more creative about the way we tell those stories that are personal to us. They're not going to disappear necessarily, because when it comes to organizations that are still out there that are in a strong news gathering function, that's going to continue. It's just a matter of us understanding where the spaces are and how we can create.
We thank you so much
Thanks a lot,
for
Marty.
being here.